Now, the Trump administration has set a lower limit on accepting refugees from abroad for this fiscal year. In the coming week, the U.S. will hit that ceiling of accepting 50,000 new refugees. The city of Utica, New York, has long taken a more welcoming approach. 1 out of every 4 citizens there is a refugee, and the evidence is they are helping revitalize the community. Paul Solman has our update. It's part of his weekly series, Making Sense.
Post-industrial Utica, New York. Upstate, downtrodden, and in the heart of downtown, where the United Methodist Church used to be, a thriving mosque. In the world beyond Utica, the tide of refugees rises, the fear of foreigners swells. Muslim terrorists, real and imagined, haunt us.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
President Trump's calls for an even partial Muslim ban were repeatedly rebuffed in court, but the Supreme Court has now let some of it stand until it considers the ban's legality this fall. But when we asked Utica Mayor Robert Palmieri if the city would be willing to resettle Syrian refugees,
I would say absolutely we would be. Because Utica starts with you. Simple as that.
There's the humanitarian aspect, of course. America's historic promise to extend a hand to huddled masses yearning to breathe free. But Utica likes the economics.
They're willing to work, and they work extremely hard. It's the rebound for our great city.
Refugee resettlement as an economic development tool, a Rust Belt revival strategy Utica has pioneered. After decades of decline, the city lost 1/3 of its population when its factories closed. Utica is growing again, back up to 62,000 people, thanks in part to its reputation as, quote, the town that loves refugees, who now make up 1 out of every 4 residents. Thousands are Muslims from Bosnia, refugees of the war there in the 1990s.
Basically, we left everything what we have at that time and start from zero again.
Sakib Durachak, who trained in Bosnia as a construction engineer, started a small business in Utica rehabbing cheap, often crumbling houses for refugees looking to build a new life.
A huge opportunity, because at the time when we came in Utica, it's a relatively very dead and poor city.
Bosnians have visibly spruced up Utica's east side and beyond. But there's an even more basic reason to welcome refugees to a town like Utica.
To have an economy, you have to have workers and you have to have consumers.
Professor Ellen Craley teaches demography at nearby Colgate University.
The influx of refugees to Utica allowed us to retain some smaller industries that were looking for highly motivated labor.
And if past suffering helps fuel motivation, Tada Paw has plenty to spare.
I work very hard because I want to live American life.
An ethnic Karen, a persecuted minority in Burma, she spent 23 years, starting at age 4, in refugee camps in Thailand. When she was 14,
Burmese army, they just shoot our refugee camp and make it burn. My sister's best friend, she burned alive.
A week later, her 17-year-old sister committed suicide.
I think she tired of life. Whole our life, we have to run for safety.
Paul came to Utica 9 years ago, worked as a nursing home aide and housekeeper while studying English, then as a medical interpreter. 4 years ago, she joined the direct sales firm Mary Kay Cosmetics. Within months, she'd worked her way up to the coveted pink Cadillac.
I travel in Albany, Buffalo. It's really hard, but now I love to live here.
Okay, so we get why refugees for Utica, but why Utica for refugees?
Utica was close to Syracuse, and Tom Cruise is from Syracuse, so I was going to see Tom Cruise.
Sadly for Bosnian refugee Ibrahim Rosic, no cruise. Happily, the Mohawk Valley Resource Center.
We receive $1,125 federal dollars to be spent on behalf of each arriving refugee.
With those dollars, says Executive Director Shelley Callahan, the Refugee Center rents an apartment, furnishes it, gets the utilities turned on, and starts teaching the basics.
So it's how to lock your door, how to work the stove, the thermostat, the plumbing.
There are also English lessons.
Somebody sitting to the left of you.
Left.
Yes.
Right.
Left, right.
We're gonna shop around.
Introductions to strange new foods.
Celery. We're gonna make celery and kale. I'm gonna focus on a.
And for those who can drive, the all-important class in parking tickets. A veritable auditorium of Babel. But within a few months, they're on their own.
They actually come here owing their airfare back to the federal government. So they are expected to get a job as soon as possible.
Although there are no hard statistics on how many refugees do or don't find jobs after their aid ends, some qualify for public assistance. Ibrahim Rosic was literally torn apart in the Bosnian conflict.
In 1994, I stepped on a landmine. I lost my left leg. And my right leg was severely damaged. I have no knee. I can't bend it.
He's officially 100% disabled, but, says the former engineer,
I work 2 jobs. I work full-time as a director at Mohawk Valley Community College, and I also work as an adjunct instructor at SUNY Poly. I am not a burden on community. I am not a burden on social services. Yes, community helped me to get this, but now it's my time to pay back. And I would say most refugees do the same.
So, are refugees the economic boon that motivated immigrants famously have been? Yes, says economist Jeffrey Sachs, but there are negatives.
Some workers face increased job competition, and their wages can be driven down. If lower skilled immigrants come, then lower skilled American workers may see a decline of their wages, whereas business owners may see more workers at lower cost for them.
And what if, as many Americans fear, even just a few are terrorists? Shelley Callahan's response? This isn't Europe.
Refugees are the most intensively screened immigrants, really, to come to this country. About 2 years of intense scrutiny by the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, ICE, Department of State. There's DNA testing involved.
For those people who is proven as a bad people, we don't want them here.
The al-Assad family, Palestinians who for decades lived in Baghdad, fled during the troop surge of 2007, the deadliest year of the Iraq War.
I got kidnapped there by, I don't know, some militia, and
my other brother too.
My other brother,
they beat him up.
He got beat up. I lost many friends of mine.
They spent 3 years in a camp on the Syrian border before being cleared for transit to the United States. Yusuf al-Saad went to work at the Chobani yogurt plant outside Utica, whose CEO, Hamdi Ulukaya, has championed the rights of refugees and hired hundreds of them. We were supposed to tape there, but at the last minute Chobani pulled out, citing security concerns, fear for the safety of employees in the current political environment. Understandably, as right-wing media had targeted a Chobani plant in Twin Falls, Idaho, where some 30% of the workers are refugees.
So let's look at the headlines.
According to conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, citing Breitbart,
TB spiked 500% in Twin Falls during 2012 as Chobani Yogurt opened the plant. Idaho refugee boys admit to sexually assaulting 5-year-old. Okay. Twin Falls refugee rape special report. Why are refugees moving in? Oh, the Chobani plant.
But the sexual assault by minors is shrouded in secrecy, and the TB case spike was from 1 positive test to 6 in a nearly 12,000 square mile area that included Twin Falls, none of the cases contagious, none involving Chobani employees.
This isn't some game, people. There's a total Islamic takeover taking place. Behind the scenes, they got Muslims following me around.
In April, the company sued Jones for false and defamatory reports.
And I'm ready to take them on. Christ, please help us win this. Please help me be strong.
The following month, Jones issued an apology and a retraction.
On behalf of InfoWars, I regret that we mischaracterized Chobani, its employees, and the people of Twin Falls, Idaho, the way we did.
2 final follow-ups. Unemployment in Twin Falls has dropped from 7% to 3% since Chobani came to town in 2012.
Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
And the Trump administration is seeking to cut the number of refugees allowed annually into the U.S. from 110,000 to 50,000.
With liberty and justice for all. Let's have a round of applause for our new citizens.
Last February in Utica, Yusuf al-Saad joined 29 others from 15 different countries in becoming a U.S. citizen.
Congratulations, your new flag.
Almost all were refugees. We leave the last word to Judge David Peebles.
America is now your country. I cannot overemphasize the need now more than ever for you and your fellow citizens to unite, answer the call, and assist in bettering our society and our world. Congratulations on becoming a citizen of the greatest nation on earth. God bless all of you, and God bless America.
For the PBS NewsHour, this is economics correspondent Paul Salman.
Beautiful.